Welcome to Dad's DeFi Space. I'm Kevin, and today we're going to take a look at one of the best tools a DeFi and crypto investor can use for their research, and that would be Defillama. So if you could smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and if you feel like it, support our affiliate links down below: Tangem, CoinLedger, TradingView, and later we'll talk about the Underdog Investing Group. Let's get right in. This is defillama.com, a web page to research DeFi protocols such as bridges, DEXs, liquid staking protocol, NFTs, governance, anything you can think of. Right here is their main page, and on the left side, this is what you would use to navigate the site. They have information on smart contract hacks, the crypto ETFs now, a narrative tracker. You can look at long and short liquidations if you're into leverage trading. You can look at borrowing, you can look at NFTs, and you can find where you can find the cheapest swap rates on DEXs. So there's a lot of information here that just about any crypto investor could use to help with their research, because you don't need to be in this space if you're not willing to put in the time and do the research. The people who don't are the people who end up being the bag holders at the end of the bull run. Don't be like me last run, be like me this run. Now, on this main page, it'll give a general graphical view of total value locked in all DeFi protocols. Like the video and click that button and subscribe to Dad's DeFi Space. We're rising and total value locked. What I wanted to do today more than anything is not just go through all these different sections and show you what you can do with Defillama, but I want to show you how I would locate a liquidity position on Defillama, because right now what I want to find is a ETH USDC position to use as a new core position within my Beefy finance portfolio. So let's begin. First, what I want to do is go into DeFi. And we are going to look at top protocols. Or no, let's compare chains. So what I'm going to do, and it only allows you to add a few chains at a time. I want to put in Optimism, Arbitrum, Solana, Polygon. I use these a lot. Of course, Base. And let's leave it at that for now. What I want to do is zoom in a little bit here. There we go. And you can get a visual representation of which protocols are getting the most total value locked at this point in time. Looking at this chart, we'll see the answer is easy. That would be the Solana network, and that is why I really like playing around on Jupiter and the Solana dexes, especially providing liquidity on Orca and Radium. But that's for another video, another day. Our second chain total value lock is the Arbitrum network. Arbitrum's always been an excellent chain to earn yield on. That doesn't. I don't care if we're talking about lending, if we're talking about liquidity protocols or anything. So again, Arbitrum, excellent chain to earn yield on your crypto positions. When I look at this, our third chain is Base. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of these off our list, because we're going to focus on Base, Solana, and Arbitrum, because these are the ones where it's at. So again, we're looking right now at total value locked. Okay. I also want to take a look at fees. With the fees, you can actually see that the network showing the most growth is still Solana. Actually, Base here, Arbitrum here, Solana here. Anyway, it just gives me an idea of what chains I want to deploy my capital into to earn my yield, no matter what strategy we're using. Next, so we've narrowed it down to 3 chains. I'm gonna actually today stick with Base and Arbitrum, but that's specifically because Solana is not on the Beefy network yet. So bye-bye Solana for now. Now we're going to narrow it down and start looking at different liquidity positions. So specifically, I'm going to be looking at reward yield farming, but we're also going to look at being a market maker and just providing our liquidity into liquidity pools and earning fees off those trades. I'm going to go into the yield section of Defillama, and we are going to look at pools, but we're going to narrow it down to 2 chains. See, up at the top, they're going to give you a lot of options to narrow down your research. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select Arbitrum, and I'm going to select Base. And we're going to just keep it at those 2 chains only. As you continue your crypto journey, please support the channel by visiting the links below. $15 off TradingView, 10% off CoinLedger and Tangent Wallet, or 20% off your first month at Crypto Labs Research UIG program. Once we get to the yield section, we can start researching our pools. I'm going to select the Arbitrum and the Base chains, which are already selected on mine. And I'm going to go and take off all the categories except yield aggregators. I'm going to take off staking pools for now and farming. Okay, we're going to change our total value lock to a minimum of 500,000, and we're going to apply. I don't want to have any pools that are really small. We may have liquidity issues when we try to withdraw. And then for my APY, I want to sort out any pool that's less than, say, 50% APY. Okay, I know I can find way more than this, but I want to look at some data before we make our decision. All right. There's some other research things we can do that you may want to be aware of while we're on here. Since we're looking at Arbitrum and Base, I can actually go specifically into chains and bring up the 2 chains that I'm looking at, Arbitrum and Base. And then once this loads, looking at the Arbitrum chain, we can actually look at what dexes have the highest volume or where we can find the highest yield. And it's pretty easy to look at this research. Like if we're looking at Arbitrum, it's obviously Uniswap, Pendle, and Camelot. Those are the same liquidity pools that I'm getting into positions on Beefy and that I'm getting into on Uniswap or through Crystal. I really like their aggregator that does all the hard stuff for you. So those are the protocols I'm going to be looking for. When I go to the Base network, and by the way, this kind of takes the data and you can see how the Base network, like their total value lock just keeps going up. That is why you hear all these influencers talking about how Base is going to be a big narrative during the bull run this cycle. So looking at the Base network, we see our biggest DEX, Aerodrome. I love farming AERO on Aerodrome. I've made some of my best yield farming AERO token and farming overnight finance. But anyway, looking at this, Aerodrome DEX, Uniswap DEX, Beefy, the yield aggregator, Beefy, the yield aggregator, Extra Finance, That's leverage yield farming. We may take a look at that like in a later video, not yet. And so that gives us our answers. We're going to be looking for Aerodrome, Uniswap, Camelot on the Arbitrum, and possibly anything else that may come up during our research. All right, back to where we're actually going to look for the specific farms or liquidity pools that we're going to be looking at. Now, this is what I like to do. This is not financial advice. It's just how I do my research. When first, I usually like to organize and bring up only the tokens that I'm looking for. Specifically, this one, we're looking for Ethereum tokens. I'll include wrapped ETH just in case. And then I want to include stables like USDC. Now, after we have our parameters set, the last couple things I would do is I'm specifically going to put Beefy into the project section because I only want pools that are part of Beefy. And I also like to include the stable outlook attribute because it will tell us pools that are not all degen and you're going to lose your money put in a lot into it or however much you put into that pool. Now, let's look at the total value lock 30-day average, see if we can find some good ETH and US dollar pools. Ooh, what's this one? Now, I like this, but I think I'm already in this pool on Beefy. It's going about 145%, and it's a wrap Bitcoin USDT. That's nice. We are now going to go to our watch list, and our watch list is going to kind of show different pools that we checked on. These Merkle pools are actually starting to drop, so we're going to take those off. These pools spiked, but very, very stable ETH. First, let's look at the total value lock. Now, this one right here that's earning 27%. I just noticed total value lock below 20,000. No, thank you. And then looking at the rest of these, I'm going to probably go with either this 80% Camelot or this 71% Camelot. So the last thing I would look at is we're going to go into the last two pools that we've narrowed it down to and actually try to research some of our technique. We're going to go into some of these pools and look at a little bit more data. For example, we see that the total value locked in this pool has skyrocketed pretty recently, right? And it's predicting the current API is not going to fall below 40% within the next 4 weeks. Now, it has low confidence, but it can kind of give you an idea of where the pool may go in the near future. I also like to take a quick look at the 7-day moving average of the APY. It is dipping, but it's maintaining some stability. It's not a quick drop. So let's check our next one, see if it looks any better. So its 30-day average is a little higher. The outlook is about the same. It's within 5% anyway. And the moving average honestly looks about the same. So on that note, the only way I would know to make the decision is I'm going to take the one that has the highest 30-day average APY right now, but don't always look at a high APY and think, hey, that's the pool I need. What if the pool had a ton of trading volume over the last 3 weeks and it's dipping very low and it's just going to keep on with that trend going down, 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 down? As the total value lock goes down, the yield goes down, and that's going to affect your profit and loss. All right, so now that we have our pool, we're going to be depositing money on this USDC ETH pool right here. On Beefy, right? So a lot of times I'll actually make sure I have my pair, Camelot, and this is where we make sure the pool matches up. So now I'm in my Beefy Finance dashboard, and in this you can kind of see my Beefy portfolio. The yield I've been earning on this OVN USDC is ridiculous. So far, this position has earned me $150 on just under 1,000. The position has been open for approximately a month, and I'm earning about $7 a day in OVN and USD plus. And then when I pull profits out, I usually pull them out into stables, because OVN is a risky coin. It is very volatile, and the value can fluctuate. Kind of like my Lido wrapped ETH pool, which right now is down about 11%. This column will show you the profit and loss of each pool. This one kind of shows the APY right now, not the average. You have to actually go into the position to find it. So we're going to go find our pool. We're going to go into our vaults and specifically search wrap ETH USDC. Make sure that is the correct pool. There we go. Now, every once in a while, you might even find a pool that's performing even better. Like this one, it's 84.53, but this is a sushi swap pool and has a lot less total value locked in both the Beefy one and this one. So I'm not going to use that one. But I do think I want to use this Camelot pool that has almost $6 million in it. So we're going to flag it, and we are going to deposit $300 of wrapped ETH into this pool. Now, some pools you can deposit straight into, and it'll do all the DEX exchanges and stuff for you. This one, you're actually probably going to have to put in 2 assets at a time, which means we'll have to take our wrapped ETH and perform a swap into USDC. Okay, so in this pool, more than likely, we're going to need to do this 50 at a time. If you'd like to learn more about crypto and DeFi investing, such as yield farming, providing liquidity, or lending pools, check out the links below for Crypto Labs Research. They offer a free DeFi course. They have the UIG, Underdog Investment Group. You get 20% off your first month and grow your portfolio and yourself.